Romania is sending WRS to Eurovision 2022 in Turin with Llámame, the Spanish for Call Me. But are we saying Hola mi bebé to its chances in the final? Let's review Eurovision. Yeah, Romania's had a bit of a tricky few years. They used to be surefire qualifiers, a real, gold star of the Eurovision scene, but they've not qualified for a while. They've not been in the final since 2017. It's not been a great few years for them, but will WRS take them back into that grand final on the Saturday? Here's a little bit of Llámame. Hola, mi bebé. Hola, mi bebé. Llámame, llámame. Llámame, llámame. Hola, mi bebé. Hola, mi bebé. Llámame, llámame. Llámame, llámame. Hola. Righty then, slightly Spanish-inspired. What do we think of it, Emily?
Now, I feel like I should add a disclaimer in that I've slightly changed my tune on it from when I did my rankings.
Good.
I was in a bad mood. I was in a bad mood when I did it and wasn't in the mood for this kind of thing. But it is, on reflection, I realise it is actually quite fun and quite entertaining and probably the kind of thing that we quite like to see at Eurovision. And actually, the point that we were making in Israel's video about if you like Israel, you'll like this, and if you like this, you'll like Israel. I think I prefer this to Israel. Interestingly, I think this has a lot more of a kind of like Latin feel to it than Israel's does. Israel's a lot more kind of campy, voguey, whereas this is like campy, Latino-y.
Yeah, it's quite sensual.
Yes, and it my opinion is probably quite informed by the rehearsal clip, which I know is bad and we shouldn't be doing that, but it is, on reflection, it's quite fun, and I've been extremely mean with my ranking and I almost don't actually want to give it.
Yeah, you're gonna get some hate for that, I think, when we do end up revealing.
But I've learned from my ways, and hopefully people only don't listen to the full video.
A skip to the end if you want to find out how much he hates it. I think to go back to that comparison of Romania and Israel, this is very camp as well, and they do tick a lot of the same boxes. It's interesting that you say you prefer this. I do still think I prefer Israel because this is a little.
I forgot another point. I also think it's very interesting that Romania doesn't. They do camp in a different way at Eurovision. They sent obviously Yodel It, which was incredibly camp, but in a very different way. And they aren't just sending kind of straight camp. You've either got kind of, Latin camp or yodeling camp. And I think that's kind of probably something we don't see that often. But yeah, sorry, that was just a side thought.
Fair enough. Thank you for interrupting me for that. Thank you so much. I
thought it was really enlightening analysis. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel thoroughly enlightened. Thank you. I think the Israel comparison is up because they're both very, very camp. I do think I prefer Israel though, because this is, I'm very much with the Spanish. I studied Spanish at university. I speak it. I think this is a little bit too subtle. In comparison, I think if you're going to go camp, it's going to go boom. You know what I mean? And that's what Israel does. It is fun. It's entertaining. I do really, really enjoy it. I do. I'm a bit in two minds about the Eurovision version of it that they've done, because my big criticism of the original version was it's very samey. Once you hit the sort of 1 minute 10 mark, it's as if they just copied and pasted that for the 3 minutes. Like at the end of about 1 minute 10, I've got the gist. I might as well stop listening because it's virtually the same. I think they recorded the chorus at once and just copied and pasted it. I think they've addressed that with the Eurovision version because vocally it's a lot more dynamic, it's a lot more interesting, it's a lot better to listen to his vocals. The instrumental, I think, is still better on the original. It's a little bit more impactful. It's still subtle, but it's a bit more of a bop to it. So I think the version that they're going to be performing on stage is better overall. It's more likely to qualify, But I still think, in terms of listening to it, if I'm in a club, I'd rather have the first version, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's interesting enough. It's fun. It is quite camp, and it's I am a fan, but I still think I lean towards Israel. So that's what we think of Romania's entry. Do we think it'll qualify? I'm on last year's Eurovision list. What am I doing that for? Where is it qualified? Where is it performing in the semi-final? It's performing 13th in the second semi-final between Estonia and Poland. Will it be qualifying, though? And where does it in our ranking? Well, I mean, please, Emily, where is it in your ranking? Please tell us.
It's number 39.
It's number 39, she said. In case you missed it, it's 39 out of 40. So, yeah, why is it your second to last, Emily? Please tell us.
I don't fucking know. I mean, I'm just bringing out all the terrible like final placing opinions. I mean, I put Serbia at 40 and then I put this at 39, Christ. I mean, I stand by the Serbia, sorry guys. But yeah, for this one, I feel like it should make the final, but the problem is that if he gets carried away with the performance and the vocals go to crap, then that would be the thing that would kind of pull it down and stop it getting to the final. I also don't think it probably benefits from being in the same semi-final as Israel because they're the same kind of ilk. If you're voting for one, you're probably not voting for the other, and you're kind of picking and choosing. So whether that kind of splits the vote,
Yeah, minus your ranking, copy and paste all of that. I think this is it could make it through, but I really don't see Israel and Romania making it through because, as you say, and as we said in the Israel video, they're very similar demographics, and you're going to vote. You're not really going to be voting for both of them. And I think juries might respect the sort of the bombasticness of Israel a lot more. It's a lot showier. It's a lot more in your face. That is going second in the running order. This is 13th, so this does have the running order advantage. But I think Israel slaps you across the face, whereas this sort of just grinds up against you. You know what I mean? And you more likely to remember a slap across the face. So I think I'm more inclined to say this won't qualify. I would like it to, but I'm not sure if it will, unfortunately. In my personal ranking, it's number 15 this year. So yeah, up there. I am a fan. I do like it, but bit of an uphill struggle to qualify, I think. So that's what we think of Romania's Eurovision 2022 entry. Do let us know if you agree, disagree. Hit the comments, like, subscribe, and make sure you share as well. We're on Instagram at Review Eurovision, so do give us a little follow there. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.